Hello everyone and welcome to Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory. So we've been touring around the NT the last few days, done Litchfield, done Nitmiluk. Now on the last day we're getting to Kakadu doing the Motorcar Falls hike. Now Kakadu is world famous. There's a load of awesome places, waterfalls, etc. Jim Jim Falls is the most famous. Unfortunately, Jim Jim Falls, Twin Falls, Gunlong Falls, Barramundi Falls are all still closed because they had floods a few weeks ago, which is annoying. But the one place that is open is Motorcar Falls. That's about an 8-kilometre return hike from the Motorcar Falls car park at the Mikmik car park. So we do Motorcar Falls, also Boulder Creek Falls along the way. Now this is the only falls in Kakadu open in the wet season, or only major falls, so definitely one to keep note of. It tends to dry up in June. I'm hoping because of the rains, we're here in late June, it should still be flowing, but we'll see. Let's check it out. Absolutely glorious surrounds, perfect 30 degrees, sunny day again, as it has been every day this trip, and really cool landscape around here. So checking out the information board, basically, you see where we are here. We're going to check out Boulder Creek. There's a waterfall there which hopefully will be flowing, and then you head on down to Motorcar Falls, which I reckon will be flowing. You can also continue further to Kurundi Falls, which adds a few extra kilometres to the walk and is much harder apparently. I've seen a video and it looks like quite a rough track. Kurundi Falls is less interesting of a waterfall, so we're not going to bother with that one, I don't reckon. There's really all sorts around here because you even go down through Motorcar Falls, there's another waterfall, but that's off track completely, so choose your own adventure really. Coming into a junction, we'll come back into the lookout in a minute, but first off, let's head to Boulder Creek Falls this way. So the Boulder Creek Falls trail just come over a little bit of a hill, and now we're kind of heading towards the drainage of the creek, which I think you can just hear coming up ahead. So hopefully it's flowing a little bit. There is actually a car park much closer to this falls, but that's closed at the moment, so you can do a short route into Boulder Creek Falls if you want, but I mean, it's a nice enough walk, albeit pretty warm. Not far off now. Okay, so we've made it to Boulder Creek Falls, which is technically flowing. It would actually be quite a nice falls in the wet season. It has sort of two sections to it. The upper one's a bit taller and a bit nicer looking, but not a whole lot happening, but better than nothing, I guess. Upper falls up there looks a bit decent actually, if it was flowing well. Hopefully the Motorcar Falls performing a bit better. Little scramble to the upper falls, not bad. Again, needs some more water, but it's a really pretty little oasis here. Back at the junction, and we're going to go onwards to Motorcar Falls. We might come back and do the lookout on the way back, but just prioritising the main attractions for now. And see how we're going for time. Let's do it. So Motorcar Falls is so named because I'm actually walking what used to be a road. So that's basically how the falls gets its name. Kind of an interesting name for a waterfall, I think, Motorcar Falls, but yeah, not all that interesting of a story. It's just used to be a road that went to it. Pretty scenic trail, just sort of follows parallel to the escarpment that gives rise to all the waterfalls, Boulder Creek, Motorcar, and then Kurundi Falls further along. Spectacular outback scenery. Still just following along below the escarpment the whole way. It's really interesting. You sort of pass all these different various gullies on the right and various rock formations. It's sort of kind of sameish, but also really impressive. And also getting these sort of ephemeral, if you look at that black rock behind me there, what would be ephemeral waterfalls in the wet season. Obviously completely dry now, but it's still very cool to see where the water would be coming over. Not far off now, come to this sign. The gully in there is where the falls are. Can't hear or see any flowing water yet, which isn't a great sign, but I'm hoping the falls will reveal themselves as we get a bit closer up. Still gorgeous scenery out here. Final bit of the track is a bit more rough, sort of following this rough little trail above the creek, which is actually flowing, fortunately. You can hear a bit of waterfall ahead, so shouldn't be too far away now, but yeah, just going through the jungle in this last section. Well, made it, and what an awesome spot Motorcar Falls. It's a big drop, 30 metres at least, in this really cool sort of amphitheatre into a big pool. Not a lot of water to be honest, but still flowing and just a spectacular sight. Coming back into that first junction from earlier where we had the Boulder Creek and the Yimikmik Lookout junctions. Now we're going to head up to the Lookout, 220 metres one way. Bit of a climb, I reckon, so just about at the end of the energy for the day, but let's go check it out. I think it'd be a good view, worth checking out. Come to this spectacular view. I have a feeling the actual Lookout probably might be all the way up there, but can't be bothered going up there to be honest, because the view here is pretty good. To the car park down below, and the whole way along the escarpment towards Motorcar Falls out there. Boulder Creek Falls in there, just gorgeous. Worth a little scramble for sure. Heading down to the car now, so we'll call it a day I reckon. Pretty awesome hike, Yimikmik. Motorcar Falls, spectacular falls, granted not flowing as well as would have been nice, but it is deep into the dry season now. Still awesome swimming hole. Boulder Creek Falls will also be nice earlier in the year, but realistically sort of March, April time would be prime time here, if not earlier in the season. Worth checking out a Lookout too. Overall, I think it's about 8-9 k's of hiking we'll have done. Pretty hot, but also pretty straightforward, besides a little bit of boulder scrambling. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.